The other day I was scrounging around on the internet for hours trying to find for a solution. So basically I had an HTML website I was building, and I had this form filled for the datetime-local type. And when I did that on Firefox, I realized that there was no such picker in Firefox. So you had to manually type in the date time with the format and everything in this input field right here. But the date seems to work fine. So if I change this datetime-local type into date type, you can see that the selector comes up just fine in Firefox. But the minute you change it to datetime-local and you refresh that, the selection is gone and you have to type it in manually. And so I wasted hours on the internet trying to find for something that can work with Bootstrap, because I was already using Bootstrap, as you can see here. But then I found this amazing module called Flatpicker. So as far as I know, it's running vanilla JavaScript, and so it will definitely work with Bootstrap. So today I'm going to show you how you can use Flatpicker to make your own datetime picker in just a few lines of code. So to install this, we can either use npm, or I'm just going to use the CDNs right here. So you just have to copy the CSS right here and paste it in your head tag in HTML, and then copy the JavaScript here and paste it right below your body's closing tag. So I'm going to paste that there. And the main reason we're doing this, pasting it down below right before the closing body tag, is just for performance. Now if you want to plug this up at the top in your head tags, it works as well. It's just not as performant. Okay, so now let's go back to my existing website here. You can see it's just a very simple Bootstrap based template, and the only really thing that I coded myself is this form right here. It's just 3 lines of code, and it's just this form with a type of datetime-local with a placeholder and a Bootstrap class of form control. Now if I go back to the Flatpicker documentation down here, you can see if you use jQuery, you can just use this one line and initialize Flatpicker. But I'm not going to use jQuery, I'm just going to use vanilla JavaScript. So you can do something like this. I'm just going to copy this and paste it in our script tags here. So I'm going to paste that in. So this line of JavaScript, this single line, will initialize Flatpicker, but we have to tell Flatpicker which input fields we want it to target. So you can target it with IDs, you can target it with classes, or you can just target it with input and type equals to datetime-local, which is what I'm going to do right now. So this JavaScript function will automatically target all of the input with datetime-local types and apply the Flatpicker initialization on top of it. So I'm going to save this. And let's go reload and let's take a look at what it looks like. So immediately you can see that when I click on the input field, we get this amazing date picker. You can choose the month, you can choose the year, but then again, this isn't really what we want, because Firefox already has a built-in date picker. We don't need another date picker. What we need is a date time picker with the time input, and that's where Flatpicker shines because of just how customizable it is. So if I go back to the documentation right here, you can go and check it out yourself at flatpicker.js.org/getting-started. You can go to the examples, and we can look at the date time right here. You can see that we just have to type enable time equals to true, and it will give us a time selection. So let's go ahead and do that in our JavaScript script tags here. So you see this associative array or dictionary here. This is where we plug our configuration in. So I'm just going to copy this entire associative array here and paste it in here under a variable called config. And let's fix that indentation, and I'm gonna plug the config variable right in here and save that. And now when I go and reload and open this up, you can now see that we have a time input here. So if I input like 1 p.m. on 9th of June, then it will automatically fill in the values for us and we don't have to type in plain text. But I'm just gonna show you another customization that you can do with datetime with Flatpicker. So look at this value here, right? It's not that human readable yet. We can further customize this and enter our own format in there. So if I go to documentation, you can see human friendly dates, and under alt input and alt format you can create your own format. So I'm gonna go back to my code here. I'm gonna just remove this. I'm gonna call alt I'm gonna call alt input is true. This will tell Flatpicker that we want to show custom values, custom formatted dates and times in this display right here. Now this will just show up differently, but in the underlying form, when you actually submit the form and go through form processing, the actual format will still follow this date format one. So this is just an alternate input. It just changes the display. So I'm going to give it an alt format, and I actually have a snippet here that I'm just going to copy and paste it in. So this is basically F, which if I'm not wrong is the day, the month, comma, the year, and the hours and minutes, and then this is AM or PM. So I'm going to save this so you can see how it looks like. I'm going to select something, and you can see now we have a custom formatted display. If you want to format this display to your own format, you can of course go to your documentation, go under formatting tokens, and you can look at all of the tokens right here that you can replace in this alt format string right here. And of course, there are a ton of other config and options that you can apply to Flatpikr because it's just so powerful. And the best part about all of it is that Flatpikr is open source. So you can go ahead and go and take a look at the source code at GitHub, or you can make some contributions there too. So that's about everything that I'm going to show you in this video. And if you have any questions, just put them down in the comment section. I'll do my best to reply them.